Chennai morning with two incredible people. One is Letika Saran, who needs no introduction, this dynamic former Director General of Police, somebody all women look up to with awe for having broken every glass ceiling possible. And her exceedingly young, gorgeous 96-year-old mother, Vijay Lakshmi, who are both going to share, a mother-daughter sharing, of how they played as children. So we're going to start with you, Auntie. What kind of games did you play?
Those things only the girls. The boys won't allow us to go with them or play with them or anything like that. We had some neighbors and things like that. My own cousins and all those things were there. So we used to go play with sand, stones, and then make something with the leaves. All those things were there. And somebody would have shown us all those things. And then used to play, and not only that, later on, and that was much later, after about 4 to 5 only I can remember really nicely. This house at that time was, we thought it was quite, it was overlooking a very big tank.
Okay.
Though they had, this water lilies of all colors coming in, and early morning when you look out at the veranda, you are seeing those flowers and things like that. We are as small children, when the floods were there, we used to play out in that water.
Yeah. Auntie, quick question. You said you stayed with your grandparents. Did you ever play with your grandmother?
Grandmother, I have not played with her because you see, she must have been quite young also when I was born. But grandmother used to make something, and not only that, she will see that hair and everything is sort of plied. Then those things. She was quite a reserved person, but I used to play with grandfather.
Okay. So what did you play with your grandfather?
Hide and seek game and all. Grandfather was quite game for all these things, and he'll also tell stories and things like that. But we have to get up very early morning, and then we'll have to sort of wash our face and come and sit, and light will be lighted. No electricity in those days, but there'll be an oil lamp lighted, and we'll have to sit and then do the prayers, and grandfather will
tell you stories and play hide and seek.
Small stories will be something.
Sweet. What other games did you play with your grandfather other than hide and seek?
Those things only. He'll just do those things, and then he will take us on the shoulders.
Oh, so sweet.
So we will set Kunangurkar and all those things. Yes, on that, and he will just play like that.
Sweet. How sweet.
Yeah.
And you said you had lots of neighbors and cousins.
Yes, cousins were there, and I used to go out with them, play with the sand actually, and then most of the houses have got this swings.
Yeah. So you play on the swing.
We will be doing that, and we'll.
But the swing is not the swing that we know.
The one with the. Oh, okay. What kind of swing?
Actually, the swing that we used to make for ourselves.
You had a lot of fun.
Lots of fun, and not only that, it'll keep somebody else on the swing itself and
push.
Not somebody can push. Even otherwise, the older ones will get onto this thing, and then they themselves will.
Nice.
It'll go like that, and
Back
it
and
can
forth,
go
yeah.
higher. Only thing is, the younger one will have to hold on to
tight.
the rope.
How lovely, how lovely. What lovely memories, Auntie.
Eh?
Auntie, did you ever play any kind of board games like Palanguri or anything like that?
Palanguri, I have seen my my father's house. They used to have the palanguri. I have seen that,
With the seeds.
we call the manjadi.
Manjadi. The red seeds.
And the holes and all those things. That board was there.
Yeah.
And in both their houses it was. Maybe our house was much more a recent one than the older ones.
Okay. Nice. So lovely. Such
She
lovely.
didn't, but I did.
You played Palanguri. Oh,
With
how
my
lovely.
grandmother, my father's mother.
Mother.
She considered herself an expert.
And did you ever beat her?
I don't know, because she would stop the game before the
So there are 2-3 theories floating around with different people. All of us believe we were never able to beat our grandmothers. Some people say the grandmothers were experts, so we couldn't beat them. You say she stopped it before you could beat. Someone else said, I'm sure my grandmother was cheating. So I don't know which is right. But all I know is we could never beat our grandmothers.
Actually, recently, that was about, I think, nearly 1 year back, isn't it? She thought, not 2 or 3 years back, she said, we will play something, just to entertain me. She said. Oh, I said, I'm not interested, I couldn't do anything. So she said, no, mommy, you just come along. So I thought, at least she will be with me. I can see her during that time. She said she will come. She came down, and then we had this board
Scrabble.
with the and this Peladon. It is called Peladon.
Yeah.
And then bird building and all those things was there. And we started playing. I think second, third day also she came, said, oh, I'll have to go rush back and I'll come back. And I think third or fourth day.
You were beating her?
Yeah, she was. But we were taking
Stopped
it
completely.
The problem is, actually, we were taking hell of a long time.
Yeah.
That is.
You know,
one
you
thing
can.
which you never
Are you
realized.
sure?
Yes,
You were
yes.
not stopping because she was beating you?
I was beating her. I am beating.
Yes, I agree also. You were beating her auntie. She will learn that also from her grandmother.
Yes, I learned a lot from her.
Then if birds are made, she will say this. I said, take the dictionary and come. Oxford dictionary.
Now we know your secret.
We kept the old Oxford dictionary because the present one
Has very strange words
birds.
in it.
Yes, that's it.
That is such a funny story. But so you were telling me, tell me more about how you played with your grandmother.
No, this was she, like my father's mother, always played. We played Balaguri, otherwise we played Chinese checkers.
Chinese. She's expert.
Daikattam?
No, Chinese checkers. Chinese checkers. She was very good at that, actually. And we were constantly playing that. I mean, when you look back on it, you realize that, the moves were almost the same thing repeated ad nauseum. But those were two games I remember. And Bagatelle. The last one, Bagatelle is that game with the, it's a big, board-like thing which is raised up, and you send off these little balls.
Oh, they have to go fall into
Yeah,
those
fall
little
into
cups.
those.
Oh yeah, of course.
That is the marble.
Nails.
Yeah.
And little things.
Yes,
So,
of course, of course. We used to play a lot of that in those days. I don't know, I don't see that around much anymore.
No, I don't see
You
that.
know, we had a board and all those things, and then
You
you
have
just
to click something, like a
Ah,
little ball.
yes.
I had to get it into various
You
places.
have no. You have to bring it into the hole.
You had something which.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember playing that too. Gosh.
Something like the snakes and ladders, something
Yeah,
like that.
Paramapadam.
At
Yeah.
home with my mother, we used to play Ludo.
Okay.
Ludo is the game we started out on as
Children.
as kids. Then you graduated to snakes and ladders, and there was always bagatelle, and there was we play also Scrabble
Okay.
and dominoes.
Okay.
So that was
That's a strange dominoes.
No, it was. I think we kept playing dominoes quite
And then we used to have this canister and all those things. That was much
Wow,
later.
much later,
When this was I was older and all those things. And my mother and others also will come. Four of them will sit and play cards.
Okay.
If one person is not there, she'll call
Ask
me.
you to play. But that means, as a family, you've played a lot of games and between generations.
Yes.
That's a wonderful
Like
thing.
even my grandfather, my father's father, he used to play Chinese checkers. He used to play Scrabble with me and cheat out of his head. And he would insist that the words he made were right words. But it was that was there. So with them, but my mother's parents, they would tell us stories.
Okay.
So we sat. I mean, most of the knowledge of Ramayana and Mahabharata
Came
from
through
them.
those stories.
From
But
there.
that was so much a part of childhood, storytelling.
Storytelling.
And it was not structured, it just became part of your
Part
daily
of-
life.
yes.
And I think that's missing today.
Usually, it's the grandparents who tell the old stories and things like that. My grandmother wouldn't tell us stories, but there was another lady who used to come to the house. That is my auntie's Valiyamma. She used to come there and she will narrate all these Vikramaditya stories. Stories from the Katha Sarit Sagar, and she can remember it. She's an old lady. We love to be with her. We will be around her all the time. We'll compel her to stay the night, so that we can hear stories. And she can remember all the names, everything. She has not forgotten. But I couldn't remember what I have read earlier on.
Because when my sister broke her leg, she was in, or maybe even younger, right?
Yep, very young.
My mother used to read stories to us. So she read so many things, it's fables from everywhere, folk tales from everywhere. She should read out. So now, then my sister's story became very, very hard because, see, one of the things is, and it happens to everyone, when you're reading stories out, maybe you are not really paying
attention.
100% attention, but the kid is. So they don't. If you miss a word,
they'll tell you.
That's true. So now she knew all those stories. So therefore, I used to make up stories. It was the only way. But there was another problem. A made-up story, she might ask for it about
later. You have to remember it.
I had to remember. She remembered the whole thing.
So the next time we get together, we have to get you to tell us stories.
No, but that's you just let your imagination run like what your grandmother did. You can make up anything. That's kind of I think I must have got out of both the grandparents, from what they
used to tell
us and things like that.
So you mentioned your sister. Did you and your sister play together a lot?
See, we are 8.5 years apart. So I was in school. So during my holidays, I'm boarding school, my holidays, that's when we'd be together. We'd play Ludo and things like that. But the problem was, if she was losing, she would start howling.
You see,
and you would not be sweet enough.
and not only that, if we are also in it playing and she also playing, she will be standing aside. She always wants her to win, not us.
And you never let your sister win.
No,
You're very competitive, aren't you?
You let her win once and she's very happy. If you let her win twice, then you never heard the end of it. So you had to keep the balance equal. But anyway, I think we played more outside. I don't know. We used to go for walks and stuff like that. You find people, as soon as you get out of class, you would draw the hopscotch.
That of course.
Yeah, that was mandatory, and start playing.
Yeah.
So that was something that you found a lot of people playing. But evenings, when we were free, in the evening time, that's when we play. Lots of people together. You play things like 7 tiles.
Yes, of course.
Or you played dodgeball if you
Yeah.
managed to get a ball and we had it with us. Or we played games like whole team saved.
Okay.
Or which meant you played all around the school. Or if you
What does whole team say?
whole team saved is your two
Teams.
not really two teams. One is the it.
Okay.
But if the it doesn't catch everybody, then the whole team is saved.
Oh, okay.
And whoever is the last one to be, or the first one to be caught becomes the it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that things like that. And then we played, the other things of statue and London and pin the donkey's tail and with slightly indoor thing, dumb charades as we grew older. These are, let me just have a look. We also, since all my friends have very wisely sent me stuff.
You've been researching for this interview.
I had to.
That is so sweet.
Dog in the bone
Yeah.
and hide and seek. There was kick the can. I tried to figure out what we did for that.
Okay.
Blind man's buff.
Okay.
Then Coco.
Yeah.
And tug of war, which we had great fun. Cops and rubbers, I think that is everyone. Then you had music.
So you had cops and robbers in your life back then.
Yeah.
Did anyone know you'd be a cop
No,
later?
nobody did. And then Simon says, I said statue. And kabaddi, we played our own game of kabaddi, which had nothing to do. She played what is near
when I was in school, we used to have this. It is something like kabaddi. We used to say kudu kudu.
Kudu, yeah.
Kudu kudu. And then we did two
teams.
Teams were there. There'll be a central this thing with a lime or something we put, and then all the periphery, all those. They come. You will have to touch the next person and come back. And that is the thing. And big team, and that used to be a big the thing in school.
How lovely. So you're in touch with a lot of your school friends.
Yes.
And do you ever get together and play games? Maybe Scrabble, where you don't let people win.
No, we haven't. Actually, the only thing we did
we
as a group was we done this. We had a little book club within our school group. So it's online. We had our reunion in January. I think what we did do was Yeah, my friend's farmhouse in Alibag, we all met up there. We were 9 of us with some husbands and some sons. We found, she had a trampoline set up for her grandchildren, and it's a big outdoor one.
Okay.
So she had this netting around it, and we got into it despite the fact that it was very sticky, and 4 of us jumped up and down.
That sounds lovely. So really a feeling of school.
we couldn't really jump too much because then we tumbled down, since we weren't experts. But anyway, we were 4, and then 5 and 6 came joined in.
Oh, what fun! What fun!
So that was, after that, it's.
Actually, we had that shuttlecock and all those things inside the house, and also with tennicoit.
Tennicoit. My father was very good at tennicoit.
Actually, you barely see kids play tennicoit nowadays.
No.
Earlier, every street you would see tennicoit. I don't see tennicoit.
You don't see that. We had in our home, in the estate, you could have, so we had a
Even tennis court was there in the house
was
that
part
we are.
and parcel of the thing. But the court for shuttlecock in tennicoit, my father made.
Okay.
So that which used to be part of the lawn.
Yeah.
So we just.
So all of us will play.
All of us used to play that.
So I definitely came to the right place today. The number of games we've talked about, the fascinating relationships between everyone is really lovely. But I'm going away with one thought, that you wouldn't let your sister win.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't let your mother win at Scrabble.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
My grandmother taught me, I've been taught by the best.
So you'd stop the game before.
I learned all the tricks of the game. So
It was all in the game.
part of it.
Thank you both so much. It was absolutely delightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.